The western frontispiece of Amiens Cathedral has been something of a problem in Gothic historiography, and authors have suggested that this is not the frontispiece that was originally intended, that originally an extra bay was intended with big square towers. I've wanted to demonstrate, though, that these rectangular towers were planned from the start. It is true that as we look at the forms of the frontispiece, there is something of a disjunction between the three simple gable portals that make up the lower part of the design and the much more ornate, rather frilly upper levels made up of a middle triforium and a king's gallery coming beneath the rose window. This can be explained by the fact that the western frontispiece was built fairly rapidly right up to the balustrade above the rose, probably finished within 20 years from the start of work between the 1220s and the 1240s. Only later, however, towards the end of the 13th century, did the builders come back to finish the upper frontispiece, adding the triforium and the king's gallery. The stylistic forms up here are much, much more ornate and more developed. The west rose has obviously failed, because the present tracery was installed at a date after 1500, and the caps of the towers above the top of the rose also belong to the late Middle Ages. From the side of the facade, we can see how very thin the towers are. In fact, they're pretty much double squares, and from the flank of the building we can see the windows of the staircase turret ascending inside the south-west tower.